we create thoughts or are, didn't finish it, but I think, do we create thoughts? No. Did you create your hand? Did you create the hair? Are you managing the process by which hair grows? The idea that we create our thoughts, that we do seem like our breath, we do seem to be able to influence our thoughts. But if you really look closely, right? When you look, try to trace back any thought to where it came from. Where did it come from? Can you find yourself there creating it? It's really hard for us to fathom and accept the fact that thoughts pop up out of nowhere. There is no creator to them. They're very ephemeral. Nobody made them. They just appeared. Poof. They just came out of nowhere. And when the thought ends, which is very, very quickly, where does it go? Does it go on a shelf somewhere in your office where you can use that thought again? And the next thought, it may be identical to the thought in front of it or identical to a thought you had 2 days ago, but it's not the same thought. It is just a phenomena that nobody is creating. The influence on thoughts I'm talking about is the relationship we form to them, our beliefs about them, which are sometimes simply other thoughts. So a thought arises, another thought arises, and then another thought arises that says, oh, I thought that, which is just another thought. Even the thought I is just a thought. What is the thought I referring to? Remember, thoughts are representations. They're pictures, words. What's a word? It has no substance in and of itself. It's a word that refers to an object of experience. But the nature of thoughts is such is that the thoughts themselves can become an object of experience. Well, they are an object of experience, but then they can combine and make abstractions and you get higher in all sorts of levels of abstraction that take you further and further away because the thoughts are not a thing. This is a thing, right? And my thought of it, the picture I hold of it, the name I gave it, right, are all secondary. Like the example I gave in the beginning about seeing the flower and then and having, the moment of oneness with the flower, and then it starts being described and compared and cataloged, right, to be frozen. Which came first? Experience always comes first, and thought doesn't really add much. Matter of fact, it takes it away. It doesn't add much to the experience. It adds nothing to the experience. Your pets get along just fine without thoughts. Totally functional. They don't need them. Neither do we. They're a tool we have at our disposal that animals don't. A tool for communicating. Marvelous, absolutely fantastic. A tool for telling jokes, for wooing a lover, right? I mean, it's great. They're great. The problem is our relationship with them. The problem is that we have made them more important than they actually are, and the act of thinking more significant than it actually is. Change your thinking so you can have everything that you want. Well, that's a little like trimming the leaves on the tree in order to get it to grow different fruit. You need a different tree because it's the roots, it's the whole combination of things that gives rise to those leaves. So underneath all thought is a whole substratum of stuff that is not thought It's energetic patterns, assumptions, programs, conditioning, response, all sorts of stuff in there that is not thinking, but is driving thinking. It also drives emotions and sensation and other stuff. It's so significant, right, that Buddha talked about it. He called it the repository consciousness. Elsewhere, I heard it referred to as the store consciousness or the storehouse consciousness. It's this place where it's very, very subtle, and it gives rise to a lot of stuff, impulses and conditioning and thought and all of that. So we don't create anything. We are not creators in the sense that we make something that wasn't there before. We are visionaries. If we're really open and free, all sorts of amazing things can come to us, can come through us. But the human mind is not the source of anything. You could say the divine mind is, the Buddha mind is. It is the potential for all things, and it's from there that it arises. And so every thought you have, every word that comes out of your mouth, every word that's coming out of my mouth is not originating with me, with this body mind. And I can look at it and go, well, yeah, it's just happening. It's just happening. It is an utter mystery. So if we come to see thoughts as they are, the first of the eightfold noble path out of suffering, right views, see things as they are. We don't make a relationship with thought that is anything other than what thought actually is, which is a representation. It's a symbolic form. It's a useful way of communicating, and it needs to never be taken too seriously. The thought is not the thing. The map is not the territory.